You're watching Rain Knight Gaming.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Rain Knight Gaming. I'm Rain Knight, and it's time for another Meta Watch. In this video, we're going to go over two tournaments that happened online. Of course, Eagle's Nest, which always has a great turnout and some really cool decks being played. But we have a new one in the house, and we'll get to that one in a second. But first, we do have our subscriber submission for this week. If you guys want to have a chance to get on the next Meta Watch, go down to my Discord, submit your decks that did really well. Maybe you can be in the next Meta Watch. Jumping right into it, we've got Misters right here playing Clan, going undefeated as locals. And it's really cool seeing these Clan decks do really well. It's just playing all the Clan cards because it's all you got. But it's really awesome seeing these new cards come in and actually hold it down. And, I've been thinking Clan doesn't quite have all the cards they're going to need to be really competitive. But obviously, Misters is holding it down and making it work for him. So congratulations to him and thank you for submitting. Jumping into our first tournament, we've got TCG Heaven Battle for the Bricks. It's a new tournament, happens on Sundays, so watch out for that in the future. If you guys want to read more about it, you can go over to their Discord, you can go over here, you can sign up for games. Really, really awesome. Their first place winner was playing Operation Meteor. Yeah, Operation Meteor, it's gonna win. But it is a little different than what we're used to seeing back in set one, because a lot of people have just moved over to this full breach style and not as much ramp. They're only playing the bird mode for ramp, and then they get into their mid-range cards and play into that, not playing the Death Scythe at all, which is kind of interesting to see. So really good there. Congratulations to him for playing a good deck. Next up, we've got Cliffy, and Cliffy is playing a ping deck. White-red ping. Really cool to see this deck. It's really interesting. These decks are, they play so many early game blockers and mid-game blockers that by the time they get to that late game, they play so many what I would consider boss monsters that it's hard to, survive against them, especially with all this non-combat damage that they have. They've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards that do non-combat damage, and that can be pretty rough. So this is a really cool build. Hopefully you guys might get some ideas playing something different like this. Then we get into John Boy. John Boy is playing another ping deck, but a little different. Actually, it's a lot different. This is red-blue. Plays the, cash stuff, which is always fun, but also goes in with the Psycho, the Shambo, which is really cool. So this is a really different build than the last one. So it's kind of interesting seeing people go completely different directions. And this is a really fun one that I really haven't seen before. It actually plays several new cards. So it's really interesting seeing this stuff come out in the meta, taking out some of the normal mainstays of the meta. Getting into Rogue Red 1. And of course, thinking of mainstays, we've got a 1 year war. Yeah, 1 year war. You're going to see it a lot. It's a really good deck. This one is a little different on some key pieces that I'm going to point out. Plays White Gundam. That's another way for Char to link. And it's a 3/3, so he's not quite as easy to kill as the 3/2s, although it is vanilla, so you don't get any of those cool effects. But really good, solid build. Also plays Wing Zero, which, hey, if you get into late game, this thing can bust up some people. So I don't hate it. I kind of like it, actually. Getting into the Eagle's Nest tournament. It's Eagle's Nest. They're awesome. They get a huge turnout. Oh, 33. That's pretty darn cool. Their winner was Sladley, playing blue, purple, mid-range Blurple. This is the one that I showed off last week. It's a pretty similar build. This is, I think, a little different. It's a really cool, fun build. Playing a lot of the new stuff. You play really low to the ground, and you're just trying to take care of your opponent really quickly. Of course, you play, the non-combat removal option for those early game blockers, and you're just trying to smash through in the game as quickly as possible. Very, very cool. Congratulations to him for winning. Pretty cool. Then, of course, we've got a 1-year war. Won't go over too much here. It is different from the other one, which is interesting to always see. This one is not playing any of the new cards. I mean, I guess you could say this is one of the new cards, but, you know, it's really just replacing Gem. But, you know, hey, it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is just a good deck, and you're going to run into these decks at any tournament you go to, so better to know them. Next up, we've got Blue-White Freedom blockers. But this one isn't really that. This is an Epion build. I do like seeing these Epion builds. They're really cool and starting to make their way into the meta. People are kind of figuring them out. So we're seeing those Oz things. You know, just play a bunch of early game blockers, mid game blockers, late game blockers, and then you're just trying to blow up everyone with Epion. Not bad. And you have different ways of linking you know, your pilot here so you can get all those draws. This thing has a huge amount of draw engine and plays the new base that doesn't take effect damage, so that, you know, Operation Meteor breach builds aren't as effective against it. So it's a pretty interesting, you know, battle between those two. Going into the next one, we've got another Epion build. It's a little different, mostly the same stuff, but let me look, just go back and forth here a little bit. Yeah, just a couple little things here and there. But again, you're playing all of these early game, late game, mid game blockers to get to Epion and just trying to blow it up from there, you know, and get your Zeks having all those draws and everything like that. And of course, you are playing your pilots that are just some of the best pilots. That's going to be it today, guys. Hopefully you guys like these videos. Hopefully you are learning from these meta decks and getting better yourself. Don't forget to go over to my Discord and drop out any winning decks you guys have, and maybe you can be in the next Meta Watch. You guys know what I always say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.